we sent a telegram to the FBI asking for an investigation by the FBI into possible violations of the civil rights laws, federal civil rights laws. We have evidence that coercion was put on state employees by the Gary administration in behalf of Atkinson, and that those, particularly, that the state employees at the DB&O Institute at Taft, that is your Deaf, Blind, and Orphans Institute over at Taft, were required to turn in their ballot stubs and sign them, leaving the implication to those employees that their ballots would be checked to see if they had voted for the candidate of the Gary machine, Mr. Atkinson.
Judge, you say you're going to ask Governor Gary for a certain report having to do with the Highway Patrol. What report is that?
Well, this is the survey that the Committee on Traffic Safety, the Governor's Committee, authorized to be made in January. This report from the Association of Chiefs of Police. And I understand it is now in the hands of the Commissioner of Public Safety. And while we're not trying to force anyone's hands, we believe that this report should at least be placed in the hands of the Governor's Committee so that its contents may be studied prior to our next meeting, July the 29th.
Why is it necessary for you to have the report for speedy consideration?
Well, it is readily apparent that this report contains recommendation of certain changes that might be made in the Highway Patrol, which will go toward reducing fatalities, traffic fatalities. That, we feel, is everybody's business. And time is of the essence in studying this type of report. If it were not delivered prior to the next meeting, it logically follows that we will be compelled to wait until August before we can even discuss the contents of the report. That doesn't seem necessary. As a matter of fact, we deem it expedient that the public be informed as to the contents of that report.
Mr. Hoover, though, to quote him, said the startling and foreboding factor in this rise is that there's a continual upsurge in youthful crimes. 47% of the persons arrested for serious offenses last year were youngsters under the age of 18, 19 years of age. On a national scale, your report shows a 68% of the auto thieves, 55% of the burglars, and 26% of the robbers were under 18 years of age who were arrested. Now, in burglary and car theft, it'll run higher than that in Oklahoma City. We estimate that about 75% of the cars stolen are stolen by juveniles, And about 70% of the burglars are committed by not necessarily juveniles, but youngsters, 17, 18, 19 years of age.
Chief, what would you say to these people who claim that the press, that's newspaper, radio, and television, carry entirely too many accounts of juvenile crime?
That may seem so because there are so many of them, but I think it will eventually serve a purpose, because I believe the people will finally get tired of it and do something about it. And I'm merely talking as a policeman about the useful criminal, not the juvenile delinquent that just happens to get in a little trouble once in a while, but that the young thief and the burglar or the chain beater or the really tough youngster. I think there's a point where you reach with them that you've got to do something with them. I think the quicker the people realize that, I think the better off we'll be and the less juvenile crime we'll have.
And I'm saying to you folks that we're taking a chance, because we have about 16 months storage, and we don't have the facilities to treat the water that we had for that long a time. And it's been my experience in years past that if any kind of a disease breaks out, it takes a lot of human lives. I know that from factual experience.
They feel like that it won't cause any health problems. And I think, to be fair with them, that we should give them a 30-day trial.
Lonnie, let me ask you one. If we give them a 30-day trial and we have no outbreak of the medical evidence of any kind, well, what do we prove?
Well, you can take the bacteria test and the virus.
We have to prove that we can do it from then on.
We have to get a